Hello, I'm Matt Guff from House.com, and this is my list of the top 3 Salomon Freeride boards of the 2020 season. Free riding is one of my most favorite categories because the boards are fast, they're stable, and they have loads of energy. All of these ones are extremely well rounded, but some of them are, one of them is a little bit more for pow, one is more for kind of like hard charge free riding, the other is kind of an all mountain deck. We have the Ultimate Ride Salomon Pro Model board, the extremely fast Speedway, and of course the Super 8 that everyone knows about. Now the Super 8 is a tapered directional board. The nose is wider than the tail. It has a 15mm setback stance and a feel of a 5, kind of right in the middle because of those basalt style fibers. Now out of all the boards, I'd have to say this one may be the most torsionally rigid, even though it has a feel and flex of a 5, and it does have a profile shape called backseat camber. Now the backseat camber of the Super 8 has camber on the medial side of the front insert pack all the way to the tail that provide great stability, good ollie pop, and when it's compressed actually lifts up the flat section that you'll find underneath each foot to the contact point. Now after the contact point there's a gradual sweeping nose, and this is a really fun riding board. If you like diving into trees a lot, this is a really good one because it has a very tight side cut radius. So if you like those quick bouncy little turns, this one has a lot of energy to do that. The next up is the Speedway, a little bit newer of a deck to Salomon. Also has a slight directional, tapered directional style shape and a 20mm setback stance. It's a little bit stiffer than what you find in the Super 8. It has a feel and flex of a 6, and that has a lot to do with the carbon and flaxseed style fibers that you find inside instead of just regular classic style fiberglass. It also has a really lightweight appeal in the nose and the tail because of the damplifier, and it has the same profile shape than what you find in the Super 8, the backseat camber with backseat in the back end and a flat with a little rise on the nose up there to keep it afloat. This is probably the most fast and kind of hard charging out of the 3 boards here. And then lastly is Salomon's Pro Model board. I think he's had this thing since the Man board ended a couple of seasons ago. I think this might be like year 4 with the Ultimate Ride. It looks, first off, it looks a lot better in person than it does if you look at our website. It kind of just looks gray. In person, it has like this nice little metal flake to it. It kind of looks like an old Rippy board from back in the day. And then it also has a throwback base graphic that reminds me, I think this is one of the old David Benedict style bases, which I really love. But this is a true twin board with a centered stance, which is kind of weird for free riding. But Bodie rides this thing everywhere, in the streets, in the park, on groomed trails, in the trees, backcountry, pow. He does everything on this, but it just happens to have a true twin style platform. Now, if you want, you can of course set the stance back to have a longer style nose. This deck has a load of energy. It's extremely lightweight. I think a little bit more lightweight than what you find in the Speedway, despite the Speedway having the damplifier on the nose and the tail. And it does have a lot of stability in the nose and the tail too because of the carbon ghost style beams. It's a little bit different than what you find in the booster technology from Salomon. It's wide strip style carbon that runs straight in parallel with the edge and then has this J style turn to the contact point, which gives a lot of good energy transfer right to that contact point for stability at high speeds. And it also has what's called a quad camber profile shape. It's basically a camber dominant profile, right? But it has 2 kind of distinct shapings to it. Under and in between the feet, the board has a large radius style camber. It's a little bit more mellow. And then from each foot to the contact points, the radius is going to be smaller and tighter. And the idea behind that is to provide a smooth but stable ride while it's on an edge without bucking you uncontrollably from one edge to another, but still have a good load of pop when you want to ollie this thing, because the more drastic style camber shape on the nose and the tail, the more you flex it out, the faster it's going to want to pop into its original position. And that's kind of like the idea behind the quad camber. Again, you know, like all these decks feature sintered style bases. There's lots of other technology, but those are like the real ones that really stand out for me. Again, we have the Bodie Merrill Ultimate Ride, the Speedway style board, and of course the Super 8. The Super 8, a little bit more for pow. Speedway, really great hard charging free rider, and the Ultimate Ride is kind of more for like just kind of all mountain whatever, but they all fit within the top 3 Salomon Freeride boards of the 2020 season. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment or question. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and make sure to check out the links at thehouse.com right now, and hopefully I'll see you on snow. Peace.